Hello, here is a quick tutorial on your first application for the course. Computer Science Principles, we're on our main site here. As we go down into week 1, we see the following tutorials, HelloPurr. This is the application we're going to be building at this time. So we're going to open that up and see our specifications for that. Basically, we're going to be creating an application that has a button that has a picture of a kitty in it. And when I hit that button, it's going to play a sound file and make a meow. So to get this started, we need to make sure that we have the right file. So we need to have a kitty PNG file. If we select that, we can right click and save this image as, and we can house that somewhere. I have mine in an App Inventor folder. Inside that folder, I have a picture folder, and I've saved this kitty, so I know where to find that. So I already have that particular file saved. And my Meow MP3, as we open this up, it will play for us, and we can download this file, and it will be found in our downloads. And you can drag and drop that to somewhere else, or you can utilize it out of that particular location. So going back here, I have built this application before, so I'm going to kind of go through these instructions a little faster than I would suggest you do yourself. And so you should pause this video at times to make sure that you're reading through the instructions completely, so that you get a better understanding of the components of the App Inventor program and the processes and how it uses its features. So please pause the video at times and go through and read these instructions and all the details therein. Alright, so we need to get our App Inventor website open, and I've got this up and running here. If you want to log in, you'll do so, and I'm already logged in. So I'm going to create a new project, start a new project, and it should be HelloPurr, but I've done this before, so I'm going to make it for this year. Oh, it already exists, so I'm going to make another HelloPurr 2020. I'm just going to make it HelloPurr 2 maybe, see if that file exists. Okay. Now, when that opens up, it's going to be a new project, so we have nothing in our viewer, and we go into our blocks editor, and there's nothing there. So it's a brand new project for us to work on. So I'm going to build this application here, and you can refer to the instructions as we go along. I have them open up on a separate screen so I can read those and code at the same time. So here's our user interface. The first thing that it says to do is we want to go into our palette, grab a button, and drag and drop it into the viewer. So in our user interface, we're going to get this button, simply left click, drag, and drop it right there into our viewer. And it says text for button 1. We are going to need to look at this a little bit and change some features on that. That's how we can change those properties over here on the far right. So we're on button 1. Now button 1 properties are below, and making sure that I'm looking at the right component. I'm going to be finding the right properties for that. If I'm trying to find properties for my button, but I'm on the screen 1 component, I'm not going to find those. So making sure that you select the component you want to find the properties of that component on the far right. So right now it does say that we're going to take that button and we're going to put a picture into it. So this image down here, the property image, has none. So I'm going to open that up and I'm going to upload that kitty file, that kitty picture, and it should pop in right there. Now we have text for button 1, and it's kind of hovering in the background there, so I want to get rid of that. Maybe it's the foreground. I'm just going to select that, delete, enter, and it's gone. Now, the instructions say that we should change the height and width to fill parent, and it's going to stretch out that picture of that kitty to fill up the entire screen. However, I do note as we come down here that we're putting a label in, and the instructions have a smaller version of that. So I'm going to change that and put it in as automatic. So height automatic. That will give me some room down here. It makes the kitty actually look a little bit better as well. Next feature for this application is that we need to do a label to tell the user a little bit about what we want it to do. So we're going to our user interface drawer in our palette, go down a little bit, grab a label, drag it in here, and it should say text for label 1 right there. We're going to manipulate that label over here, so make sure that you select that component. And let's change our background color to make it look a little better. So we're going to change our background color to maybe, let's say, blue. And let's increase the font size to 30 so we can see what it says. As we come down here, the text. we're wanting to read it. Text for label 1 doesn't really tell me much, but how about we say pet the kitty? And now it gives me an idea about, not put pet, sorry, pet the kitty. And the black on blue is hard to see, so let's change our text color to maybe yellow and make it pop there. Okay, so right now, this application on the front end is pretty well completed. It looks, the user face is somewhat completed. However, we have two features here. We have a button, but we need a sound. And so we don't have the sound feature yet. So over here on our far left on the palette, coming down to, I believe it's media, under the media drawer you have what is the sound component. I'm going to drag it in, and you're going to see it pop up down here. It's a non-visible component. And it's over here as well, component, and the properties of that sound component. We have the interval and the source. So our source needs to be that meow MP3 file. So we need to open up the source, we need to upload, choose our file. I know mine's in my downloads right here, meow. I'm going to double click on that. Seeing that now my meow MP3 is there, I'm going to say OK to that. So now I need to, in my blocks editor, I need to make a connection here. We have a button and we have a sound, but they are not connected. So we need to do some coding to make those two pieces connected. So our button right here, if we're to select the button in the blocks, we have some options of what a button can do. We're going to select the first one. When a button is clicked, this is an event that will take place. When the user clicks this button, that event takes place. We need to provide some do here on how that event is going to be handled. So when the button is clicked, what am I going to do? Well, we want to play a sound. So over here in the sound file, we have some options. Now, look closely because we don't want the sound to be paused. We won't hear it. And we don't want it to resume because it hasn't started. And we definitely don't want it to stop because we haven't heard it yet. So the feature that we're going to have our sound component do is play the sound file. So when button 1 is clicked, call sound 1 to play. So now I'm going to connect my App Inventor to my user interface. I'm going to do so using a tablet here. So I have my tablet. I have already downloaded the MIT App Inventor Companion. I'm going to open that up there. And I'm going to have an ability to scan a QR code. And I'm going to go back into my project. I'm going to connect my AI companion using that QR code scanner. And it is now connecting. This will take a second or two, and then it should pop up on my file here. Now that does not look very good as far as looks, but let's see if it has any features that we're wanting. So this is a button, and when I click that, it should make a meow sound. That feature works, so that's good. However, this does not look okay. We need to stretch that kitty out and use some more space there. So maybe, let's definitely go back into our App Inventor program. Looking at our designer, this button, maybe its height does need a fill parent, and see what that does. So I'm going to come back into and see what that does. Immediately it's going to update and have my user interface like that. Now, that might be too big for some. It might work just right for you, and you can adjust that. And that's the great thing about this. I can make adjustments over here. So my height, maybe I'm going to say it to be a percentage, maybe 75%. And I come back over to my user interface, and you can see that it has made that adjustment. So again, click a button, here's sound. That's what our app is designed to do. Let's look at our specs real quick. And I believe that is everything that is needed for this. You can also have a vibration feature, which is also pretty cool. So we can build that in. My particular user interface doesn't have that vibration piece. However, we can do that here in the sound file. It's the same thing. It's the sound component that has a vibration piece. and you can have it vibrate for a period of, say, 500 milliseconds. So let's code that up. Even though mine doesn't do that, I still could show you how to do that particular feature. For your phone may have a vibration piece. So go into the sound component. We're going to hit the call sound1.vibrate for milliseconds. So under your math block, you have the ability to just grab this first one here and type in a number. So we're going to go for 500 milliseconds, or half of a second. So again, there's two things that are going to happen. When I hit that button, it's going to play a sound, and it's also going to vibrate for the user to get some feedback there. Okay, so HelloPurr, first application built. Looking forward to building many, many more this semester.